weeks that I have not been able to sell on a Saturday. Just had things going on. Even last week, we were super close. I had to bring some kids back from a summer camp. Any of you who have ever done that know those don't always go as planned. Well, I'd rushed the kids. I got them ready to go on a Saturday morning. We got back, dropped them all off, and it was right around 11:30. So I had sent a message to the coffee shop and said, hey, would like a 12 to 4 sale work? Like, would that be okay? Just so I could get there, just try to sell a couple books. And they responded, sure, that'd be great. Sounds awesome, because they're the best. And got back, got the kids out, literally last kids in car, shut door, drive away, and like a clap of thunder struck. And yeah, sure enough, it just torrential downpour for the next couple hours. So oh well, you try your best, but excited for today. It looks like it's gonna be a beautiful day. Maybe some rain, it's calling. It's kind of beginning around 3 o'clock. If that happens, it's whatever. I'll have from 8 till 2:30. So excited to get back out there. As far as goals for the day, I haven't really changed up anything. You know, it kind of felt like each week I would sort of hone in what I like, what I didn't like. I did do a little more shopping for mass market books, so the small little pocket-sized books. And though I had wanted to lean away from those a little bit, I had been marking those as like $3, and just on the shelves next to trade paperbacks or hardbacks, they just didn't sell. I think people just aren't as drawn to them. Certainly not the spines. They're just not as natural looking when you're looking to purchase. Sorry, I'm moving my phone around. When you're looking to buy a book, when you're looking to spend money, it's kind of one of those like, I want my bang for my buck, and a mass market, it's just probably not that. So I have them on their own separate table for $2. Now when I get those, they're either 4 for $1, depending on what place that I get them, or they're $1 themselves. So the ones that are 4 for $1, fantastic when those sell. So I tried it last time for $2 a book. I have them on their backs. You can see the front of the cover, and I sold several of those. So I think people, them by themselves, it's kind of like, oh, okay, this is, it looks like a bargain deal. So, which I mean, it's not terrible. $2 for a mass market paperback is not too shabby. So, I'm about doubling my profits usually on those ones. And of course, the ones that are 4 for $1, I'm certainly making some money back on those. So, it's interesting things that you're trying to really capitalize on. What does good, what doesn't do good, as well, I guess I should say. But yeah, so that's kind of the only change from last time, but I'm going to keep that up. So I picked up a couple more mass markets, excuse me, and we'll see how that goes. But, you know, looking forward to the day. It's always fun to get out there. The last couple times I've been selling, I've had a couple other responsibilities that I've been working on during the sale. I feel like I'm always working on some type of academic degree. And so I was writing a paper last time, which sounds funny, but you know, you're sitting there for 7 hours, so you might as well pass the time. Well, this time I don't have anything other requirements. So I brought a good book that I'm excited to start, and you know, just kind of looking to kind of be in the moment here. So we'll see if that's actually what happens. But excited to get there, get everything loaded up. Lower back has been, it's been feeling it the last couple days, so you know, lugging these massive totes around is probably not going to help things, you know, 4 times. But it is what it is. So I'll check back in when we get there, get those things loaded, head on over to the coffee shop, see where the day takes us. Got fans going, so I'm sorry if you can't hear me very well, but we got rained on. Not just rained on, everything was beautiful and sunny, and then literally like this loudest clap of thunder, and like the heavens opened. So I frantically tried to throw as much as I could in the bins, but like the lids weren't there, and so I was trying to hold down the top of the tent, the pop-up tent, because it was blowing and wind. I had a tarp, thankfully. I threw it over and just was in that moment, like rain is pouring, I'm holding everything down. I just know like I've lost everything. So I was kind of coming to grips with that. And eventually it passed enough that I could let go of the pop-up tent. I could run to the truck, grab lids, grab anything else. I just started throwing books in boxes. And so I came back to my church. I've got tables set up, got fans going. We're seeing what we can salvage. So I'm going to put you on time lapse, and we'll see at the end. I could have swore I lost it all, but I just got through one box of science fiction and fantasy, and I think I only lost 2, which is insane. So it may not be as bad as I thought, but we'll see. Just give you an update. So here we go. So much rain. It was insane. All right, here we go. Well, hi everybody. Boy, it is 4:15 at the time that I'm recording this, and my last sale took place at 12:12. I'll throw you over to my computer in a second, but I mean, we were having by far our best day. So we had sold 32 books in the morning. So noon is when I try to hit like 100. I hit 130 by 12:12, and we weren't showing any signs of slowing down. Weather had otherwise, and I like to think that I am a rather precautious person, and hindsight being 20/20, when I looked and I saw the clouds were getting dark very quickly, I should not have pulled up my weather app on my phone. I should have run to my vehicle, grabbed the yellow lids that I have on my tubs, and started throwing books into them as fast as humanly possible. I did not do that. I looked at my weather app and I saw this storm system moving, and for like 2 or 3 minutes, I literally watched this cloud move over my left, and I was sitting under blue skies, and it was saying that it was scattered, it was passing. And so I like breathed a sigh of relief. I had one lady walk through and we were talking, and she was saying like, "Hey, are you watching the weather?" I said, "Yeah, I just pulled it up." In that moment, like the loudest thunder peal that I've ever heard in my entire life, and then the heavens opened. And so I started pulling things under the tarp as fast as I could. So my shelves are full. They're not the most stable, so I can't like just drag those or else everything's fallen off. But I pulled everything as much and as quickly as I could under the awning. And so no water was getting in. I had grabbed a tarp that I had in one of the bins, and I pulled that out real quick, and I sort of draped it over my 3 main bookshelves. And so like it was covering everything. And then I ran to my vehicle real quick, and here's the issue. I grabbed how many do I have? All 8 black tubs. I did not grab the yellow lids. That was gonna be trip number 2 because I had them in separate piles. So I got them over, and if I had said that the heavens had opened beforehand, it was insanity. And so I have these tubs, and I'm just turning the tubs over on tables. I'm trying to put them on top of bookshelves, just anything to create some type of protection, because the wind started whipping up immediately, and it was pulling the awning, my 10 by 10 tarp, whatever it's called, canopy tent. And it was like pulling it up, so I'm holding it down. There's some people in the coffee shop that ran out real quick to help me. Very thankful for those guys. And they were holding things down. They were holding the tarp down. And they were looking at me like, what do you want to do? And I was like, there is nothing else to do. We just have to ride this out. And so thunder, lightning is flashing, winds are whipping, and my mind is thinking, well, this is it. This has been a fun adventure. I was doing the math in my mind thinking, I think I have completely recouped all of my investments at this point. Sorry, I got cut off there for a second. This would be something that, definitely we're not going to recoup from. We're not going to come back from this. And so that was unfortunate. So I'm just standing there. And then eventually everybody noticed that everything seemed to be under control. The wind died down. I could hold it down by myself. So I was like, all right, thank you all. You can go inside. You don't need to get soaking wet with me. And so everybody went in. So I was just standing there by myself thinking, all I had to have done was just grab the yellow lids with the black bins, and we would have been fine. But alas, everything calmed down. It didn't break necessarily, but eventually it trickled down, and it definitely stopped raining. So I ran and got the lids. I just started throwing books into bins. I couldn't dry anything off. I couldn't, so whatever. Got it all in, loaded the truck back up, took everything down. I mean, I'm soaking wet. Everything's crazy. And drove back here. And as you've seen that video that I put up, I spent the next couple hours looking at every book, drying everything off. And so how much did I lose? Well, out of my probably at this point 400 to 500 books, you can see the tops of books here. I am amazed, shocked, and crazed. This is all we lost. And the reason why we lost these is because half of the books got wet. And the really reason that these got wet is because the tarp blew off one time, and these were the first ones to get hit. These got wet because these were sitting out face up on a table that I had thrown a tub over, but these were on the outside, so they got wet. These two got wet when the tarp blew off, and then these big guys, tabletop ones, I sacrificed them. I made the business decision that the tarp was going to get blown off, so I grabbed these two out, and up top they went. So they served their purpose, and we're thankful for the sacrifice that they made. So all in all, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 books we lost. The others, the covers were a little wet. I frankly don't understand how not everything got wet, because literally the canopy tent blew up at one point. Water is free falling down on the midst of everything. And then I pull it back down, and it's insane. So very thankful that the product is still there, because this was it for about 30 minutes while everything was sort of trailing off the rain. It was just well, all right, I'm gonna have to find somewhere to get rid of all these wet, destroyed books. Still kind of in shock a little bit that nothing is frankly destroyed. Who knows? I did feel bad for the coffee shop people, because they kept coming out in the midst of everything, and they're like, can we do anything to help? And I'm just like standing there holding things down, water's flowing everywhere, and it's like, not really. This is pretty much where we're at. So, and they were just like, okay, well, so they are so great. I did feel bad. I kind of left. I didn't say goodbye, mostly because the weather had broken, and I just needed to get back here as fast as humanly possible. And so I will send a message. I'll stop by probably on Monday and be like, so just so you all are aware, we only lost 14 books. I cannot believe we only lost 14. There was so much water everywhere. So, all right, enough of me blabbering. What a week. What an insane week. Let me throw you over real quick to my computer. Again, I should not be sitting here thinking, I can't believe I didn't make more money this week, because I can't believe I still have my books. I can't believe I still have those. So we're just going to be thankful. That is going to be our posture the rest of this video. We're going to be thankful. All right, let me throw you over real quick, and then I'll come back for a couple more comments. All right, welcome over. So here we go. Southern Streams, coffee shop, 7/18. That is today, July 18th. So 130 bucks we made. So let's just not address the storm for a second. It is interesting. It seems to be, let me pull you up from my last several. 9/18 was my first sale today. A couple weeks ago, 9/29 was my first sale. A couple weeks after that, 9/03. Before that, 9/25. And my first sale, I wasn't doing time yet. So I've never had a sale in that 8 o'clock hour, which is interesting. I'm not going to get there any later because I like being ready at 8 o'clock when people are coming in. But it's just interesting because there's people at this coffee shop opens at 8, and there's people waiting to get in at 7:45. And so I'm fascinated each week. Like, I just sit there for an hour and people walk by, people looking, and eventually around 9 o'clock, someone comes on over. So I don't really know what that's about. But let me kind of walk you through a couple of these. You see, I sold 4 Star Wars mass markets. I think I talked about this earlier in a clip. I wasn't going to do mass markets anymore. Yeah, I think I did. I wasn't going to do them anymore. They weren't selling well. And then I decided to lower it down to $2, put it on its own table. It's kind of the reason why I lost so many here. But sell them for $2. I can get them for $1, or I can get, at this one place I go, 4 for $1. And so $2, I have them there. They're just sort of scattered. There's no rhyme nor reason, but people seem to be drawn to it because it frankly, it looks like it's on sale. And $2 for a book, I mean, even a mass market, that's not terrible. And so those have been going. But I sold 4 mass markets, Star Wars specifically, because a young couple came and they were talking that they wanted to try to get their 13-year-old son into reading. And so the dad grabbed 2 Star Wars mass markets. And again, I don't try to push, I don't try to be like a salesperson, whatever, but I did let him know, like, hey, those 2 that you got are great, and those could probably be read by themselves, but there is one over there that's like the first book in the Star Wars series. And so he grabbed that one real quick, and then he saw one more. He's like, I might as just well grab 4. So he sold 4 there, which was super cool. You can see the blind adventures. I mean, I was there for 4 hours selling. I was there for 4 hours selling. And we sold, look at all those blind adventures. All right, but moving on. But as far as mass markets, I got 4 mass markets there. 5, 6, 7, another Star Wars mass market. So I sold 7 mass markets. Again, it's $14. It's not crazy, but they were just sitting there on the shelf when I was charging $3, which is what I normally charge for my paperbacks. So it's crazy. Just position and market it down $1, whatever. It's crazy. So yeah, that's what I sold. So 32 books. I didn't sell any stickers this time. I'm getting low on stickers, so there were only a handful, so whatever, it's fine. But yeah, so really, really cool. There was a young couple that came, Mouse Science book. I forget which one well, I know what the cover is. I didn't remember the name of it. It's the one where like the person, does some medical tests that they want to do on humans on this mouse, and then like the scientist develops a friendship with this mouse. And so this girl bought that. She bought this pack of my book bundles, and it was so funny because she was like, she bought 2 of them, I think, right? No, yes, yeah, she bought 2 of them. I didn't note it here. that was the one that I should have put as a bundle. She bought one for $8 and she bought one for $5. So yeah, actually, I need to think through this. I'll look back at the records, whatever. But she was like, are these, like, this stack of 2 books here, this stack of 4 books is $8. This stack of 2 books is $5. I was like, yeah, that's what it is. I'm not trying to price myself out. Of course, those were completely donated. So, like, that's all profit for me. So, oh, my word, she ate those up. But again, I probably could sell for more. But look, the purpose is trying to move books. And so, yeah, right around 12:15, the weather started changing and life started moving on. So, you know, it is what it is. Let me show you sales so far. Have I gotten up to date? 620. So if I do here 7/18, 2026, how many was that? Let's just kind of do this all together real quick. That was 32 books. So 32 books, no notes necessarily. And so boom, boom, I need to break those up. But yeah, so that'll be where it's at. And that'll kind of give me, so the total here, look at that. So total, I mean, we're right around 130, that's 100, so 1,230 essentially is where we're at. So 1,230, and how many sales have I done? I've done 4, this will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sales. So what, averaging about $200 a sale. I've had a couple gifts given, cash gifts given, which has been super cool. But that's about where we're at. So, you know, we're moving at a good clip. It was so interesting, though, just how well we were doing at 12 o'clock. Because normally I've been doing about 40 to 50. And it could have slowed down. That's not a guarantee that we would have brought in 60 or 70 had we kept moving that fast. But, you know, hey, you never know. I'm just so thankful we kept the books. I'm thankful that those people came out and the guys that were there and helped me hold everything down. Thankful we only lost 14. I think I'm going to wrap it up here. I'm not going to send us back to the phone to have our last couple comments. But thanks so much for watching. It's been a little while since we've done this, and I really thought this was the last one. So very thankful. We got our books. We're moving forward. Benjamin's Book Company. The dream almost became a terrifying reality. But it's still a dream, and we're going to still keep going with it. So thanks so much. If you're interested, you can like and subscribe, and we'll get back together with the next episode. Who knows? We'll see where this takes us. Thanks so much.